Friends, those who are preparing for the priesthood of the Fellowship of Isis, and those who would wish to participate in the ordination of a priest and the consecration of a priestess Hierophant, join us now on the astral plane. Anoint your brow with water to awaken the third eye. Do not lose consciousness, but visualize yourself as you lie at ease, gently rising from your body to our time and place in the land of FOI, land of destiny, so mystically connected through the Princess Scout of Egypt to the two lands of Chem, ancient Egypt. You cross water. You now are approaching the time of midday of Opet, the Opet festival of Isis and of Osiris. We are now floating over a wooded valley between two rivers. We see hidden by trees a glimpse of an ancient grey castle. It is the time of the Irish Lunasa, of Toilta and of Luch, goddess and god of the gales. We see at the foot of the castle a crenellated gatehouse, and there a company of 60 are assembled. The priest Hierophant, the Reverend Lawrence Durden Robertson, who wears the full insignia of ancient Egypt, welcomes the company to his castle.
You are welcome here for the consecration of a priestess, a Hierophant, Cara Marguerite, and Chris O'Regan, for the ordination of a priest of Isis.
Priestess Hierophant, Vivian O'Regan, steps forth and welcomes the company. Now we see there are two candidates, a man and a woman in robes. The gate of the castle is closed, an elaborate wrought iron gateway, so we cannot yet reach the avenue. Now we see the priest of Anubis, the guardian of ancient Egypt, standing with arms folded, barring the way.
The difference between deities and humans is that deities know that they are immortal.
All meditate on these words. Can the candidate be worthy to pass? The priest now asks that the candidate may pass through the gateway.
The worthy guardian of the gate, guide him hither.
The guardian of the gate now brings the candidate. The first candidate is the one for the priesthood, and he approaches the scribe, who questions him, asking as to what is his vocation.
Do you wish to be ordained as a priest of the Fellowship of Isis?
The candidate now replies to her and gives her his true reason that he may pass the gateway.
I do wish to be a priest. I wish to be a member of the priesthood to increase my workings and help all living things.
The priest accepts this and says that the candidate may pass.
So be it. Let the candidate pass.
This candidate now is allowed to pass. Now the stately figure of the beautiful candidate for the priestess Hierophancy Already a priestess approaches. She wears flowing violet robes. She approaches, and the scribe also questions her.
Do you wish to be ordained and consecrated as priestess Hierophant of the fellowship?
I do. You who have known her so well, do you judge her that she may pass?
I do. I judge her worthy to pass this gate and to be consecrated as Hierophant.
She needs give us no procession of faith. She has been a priestess for so long, and a priestess Hierophant by appointment. So the priest judges her worthy to pass.
I judge her worthy to pass.
Now the procession makes its way up the avenue, the stately priesthood first, and children and visitors following. Visualize yourself walking in an absolutely straight avenue up under the mighty trees of summer. Come. The castle begins to loom up before us. We see it is square as dendra, as castellations, a wing, and a ruined abbey. Come with them. We pass another gateway at which a guardian allows us to pass, and we come into the grounds of the castle itself. The company now swing, strangely enough, to the left, past an incense tree. They now make their way down a totally different avenue, a long, dark yew walk. Do this. Follow them down a long, dark avenue of ancient Irish yews. Come with them. The light of the sun is not seen here, only glimmering golden green. You feel exalted. Musicians follow the procession, which now is swinging to the right. It forms a circuit. And it is approaching the Abbey of Dana, which is a beautiful garden now. It is a symbol of our threatened earth, a ruin of man's making, and yet there are beautiful bushes and trees. Our spirits lighten as we go past the incense tree once more and rise and approach the abbey. Now the procession is suddenly led by children carrying summer flowers. They are dancing and laughing. It lightens the matter. We don't feel so solemn, so ancient Egyptian. We are in Ireland. The children make their way through a mazy entrance to this old abbey, this 14th century part. We wind our way there, and we observe a granite dolmen altar below, a soaring archway in the northeast, surrounded by lovely rambling roses which are climbing up it. On the altar is a cup of well water from the castle, a stone, a vessel of grain, a pot of burning herbal incense, and a phial of oil. By the altar we observe various insignia of a priest. We notice how lovely there's a rose bush and other scented flowers relative to the goddess. We observe the robes of the candidate. The priest wears the high headdress of Egypt, deep blue with black and 2 golden serpents entwined. He wears a long black academic robe. This is the Reverend Lawrence Durden Robertson. By him is the priestess Hierophant wearing the Hathor crown, a bronze crown of a circle with 2 horns. Our priestess standing by her, the priestess Hierophant, Vivian Vernon Jones on this occasion, is wearing a glittering headdress and flowing green robes. The candidate wears on this occasion scarlet. The Anubis guardian is in black. The company now wish to hear the words of the priest and priestess telling them of what this ceremony is about, for there are many strangers present. So before the invocation, this homily is given.
The seed of divinity lies within all beings. Consciousness of this truth brings willing participation in the divine plan. It is to become son and daughter of the deity whose work one undertakes, rather than an unconscious tool serving through faith and hope. Every human being is potentially of the priesthood. Conscious acceptance of this and willingness to serve the cause of deity makes your active priest and priestesses.
There are 2 phases in the priesthood. The first degree is when the devotee faces the deity as a prostrate worshipper, expressing obedience and service. In this relationship there are 2 participants, the deity and the worshipper. The worshipper may not speak as the deity, for he is the created, not the creator. His task is to repeat what the deity says and interpret the divine will for the benefit of the faithful. Such a religion expresses itself through hymns of praise, through supplications for mercy and grace, through penitence for sins committed against the deity concerned, through gratitude for salvation. For in love there is a giving and a receiving. Such a love produces intense activity in making converts, helping others, and in trying to change oneself into the image and likeness of the deity.
The second phase of the priestly life is a reversal of the first. It has been enacted by prophets and visionaries, and has often led to a direct conflict with the established priesthood. One may describe it as backing into the God form. There is identification with the divine archetype. This degree of the priesthood demands a greater surrender of the consciousness at the outset, because the deity takes over the human channel and speaks through the mouth of the priest or priestess.
Now the invocation of the deities take place. But suddenly we notice that there is a figure seated on the stone dolmen, entirely robed in white. The priest calls upon the oracle of the goddess Basht, that she may inspire the priest.
I call upon the oracle of the goddess Bast. Come and inspire our candidate for the priesthood.
My son, you have come here in humility, and this humility is to be truthful. To be arrogant is to be a liar. When you approach the deities, you do so with wonder and reverence. And by this self-emptying of your lesser self, you allow the greater self to manifest. Here is true ego. I'm a cat. I'm that cat part of all people. I scratch because I discriminate. Do not, in sentimentality, tell lies to people. Speak the truth. I hold the mirror of truth, the moon. And when you face the truth, you can tell good from evil. This is the first state of my being. The next stage is the destruction of evil through good. For evil in eternal reality does not exist. You are only banishing delusion. And you may best see this in yourself rather than in others. I am also of the sun. I am Sekhmet, Basht, Ra. When you turn to me, I can give you power. For you, a priest, a man, polarizes the goddess, and this is dangerous. A priestess works like to like with me, and I come gently as a mother and a sister. But to you, I am your mistress, your lover, and I can tear you to pieces. And this is why you love me. You have found your true partner, and this polarity exists. And as you draw nearer to deity, you are the god, because you see the goddess in your partner, and she becomes a goddess, for she forgets herself and sees the God in you. So may it be with you all. All give thanks to the oracle of the goddess. They are somewhat shaken, because some see light around the figure, and others the form of what appears to be a woman, a shimmering in the air. They leave the priestess to recover from trance, and they invoke deity.
I invoke the goddess Isis and her son the god Horus. May wisdom and harmony prevail.
Yeah, she makes the sign of Venus in the east. Now the priestess approaches the north and makes the sign of Neptune with her wand. I invoke the goddess Kuan Yin, and I invoke the goddess, the Bodhisattva Maitreya. Let compassion and serenity be bestowed. The other priestess now makes a sign with her wand.
I invoke the goddess Dana and the god Mamanan Macneir. May joy and beauty be granted.
The priest now addresses the company. He asks the scribe what the candidate has to offer.
Honored scribe, what work has this candidate to offer, that he may best serve deity?
The scribe steps forward, who is indeed the partner of the candidate.
This candidate has labored for many years in the service of the goddess and the god, has learned the simple ways of nature, of herbalism, of healing. He has loved all creatures of the earth, has cared for the earth in following the ways of conservation and works in helping ecology. He has especially loved cats, loved his own pets and those of others, and he has come and worked side by side in the Lyceum of Isis Sophia as the priest of that Lyceum, and now it is time for him to be formally ordained as priest within the fellowship.
The priest now addresses the scribe. He asks what is being offered as a token.
What token will you offer?
In token of his dedication to the divine service, the candidate offers a necklace of tiger's eye to Bast, to Isis a crystal, and flowers to the great Irish mother goddess Dana.
The candidate now presents these tokens. The priestess now addresses him.
It is good to give. It is also necessary to receive.
She takes a stone from the altar and gives it to him.
Take this stone from Isis. May you discern the spark of life within all existence.
He receives the stone and holds it in his hand. The other priestess now picks up the vessel of grain and approaches and gives it to the candidate. Receive these grains of corn from Crimean. May you protect all growing things. Now the other priestess picks up the cup of water and dips her finger into it and touches the candidate on the brow.
Accept this water from Dana. May you receive true vision.
The purpose of deity unfolds itself through us in many ways. Manifold are the virtues of the goddesses. Which goddess do you choose to follow as priest, that you may aid her in her work?
I choose Bast.
So may it be. May the Hierophant ordain you before us all.
The Hierophant takes the vial of oil from the altar. Now, I'm the Hierophant for this ordination of Chris O'Regan, partner of the Hierophant Vivian O'Regan, so I enjoy doing this. I anoint his head, his hands with oil, but I do more than this. I try and channel through all the power of the goddess Bast into his head. In the name of the goddess Bast, I ordain thee priest. I now take up the priestly headdress and place it upon Chris's head. With this crown I dignify thy head. I take a stole which joins us to the goddess as it has loose ends, and I place the priestly stole about his head. It reaches to about his fingertips, and I see that one part covers his heart. With this stole I hallow thy heart. I now place my hands upon his heart that I may awaken the heart center. Then I take a heavy priestly staff and I hand it to him. With this staff I strengthen thy will for good. May you be blessed by the goddess Bast. Receive now the blessings of the other two goddesses whom you revere, Isis, Dana. The priest now approaches the candidate and holds his hands and channels strength through him.
In the name of the priesthood of the great goddess of the Pantheon, I accept the ordination of this priest.
All express their acceptance.
We accept you into the priesthood.
We accept you into the priesthood.
I joyfully accept you into the priesthood.
Now we are to hear the words of the great Emperor Julian, last of the priests of the great god of all gods, Jupiter.
Hear ye the words of Julian, Pontifex Maximus, Emperor of Rome. He writes to the Princess Theodora, I have received from you who are wisdom itself your letter telling me of the fair and blessed promises and gifts of the deities to us. I now say plainly that all who aspire to priestly office must engage with greater energy in the temple worship of the deities. Also the Supreme Pontiff writes thus to a priest of the Olympian religion, I shall describe what manner of man a priest should be, that he may be justly honored. He should teach reverence towards the deities. It is fitting that we should perform our services to the deities as though they were themselves present with us. And though not seen by us, we may direct their gaze, which is more powerful than any light, even penetrating our hidden thoughts. It is our duty to venerate the images of the deities, their temples and holy precincts and altars. It is our duty to maintain all the rituals of the temples. You must, above all, exercise philanthropy, for from it result many other blessings, and that choicest blessing of all, the goodwill of the deities. Philanthropy is of many kinds. You see how varied are the gifts of Athena, the craftswoman.
So spake Julian to the priestess Theodora. Now comes the moment described by Lucius Apuleius, when the new priest of Isis faces the people and gives forth his first blessing. He now, Chris, faces all these 60 people and many others who have joined us and gives forth his blessing to the world.
In the name of the goddess, whose attributes are love, beauty, and truth, may all beings be blessed, the she, the humans, the animals, birds, reptiles, fish, insects, trees, plants, this earth, and all the elements. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Now the bard reads us from a beautiful Greek poem in honor of the lovely goddess Bash. Who is so equivocal. She stands in front of the shrine of Bash, which is a great carved wooden cat carved by my nephew David Durden Robertson, reflected in a great golden tray or mirror as the sun, and another circular mirror behind. Her back view is the moon.
Nature gave horns to cattle, and hooves she gave to horses, and nimble heels to rabbits, to lions mighty grinders, and fins she gave to fishes, to birds their wings for flying, to dogs a deep devotion. Has she forgotten cats then? Oh no, she gave them beauty. Aye, fire and sword are weaker than a playful kitten. O Bast, we invoke thee, Bast the beautiful. In the name of Bast may all cats and all creatures of the night be blessed.
Now the whole company sit down comfortably, and the scribe gives us a lovely magical journey to the realm.
Sink now into meditation, and we find ourselves transported to a temple of red sandstone. This is the place of Bast, the temple of Bubastis in the Nile Delta. Graceful statues of recumbent lionesses go on each side of the pathway. The temple arches upward into the sky.
The atmosphere has changed. Subtly, we know the company are turning their thoughts now to the silent figure of the priestess, Cara Marguerite Drusilla, who has now assumed a long white veil which a priestess has put over her head. Now our new priest, Chris, assumes the dignity of the god Hermes because he is holding a caduceus, and he holds it aloft, the winged staff of the messenger of the gods, and he instructs the company to follow him to the temple of Isis.
Follow one and all to the temple of Isis.
Therefore, the candidate is led by the priestess and the priest Hierophant, Lawrence Durden Robertson and Olivia Robertson. Lawrence blesses the occasion but has delegated his task to John Mahoney, as he did in the former rite. What is this going to be like? You're rather sorry to leave the lovely outdoor abbey and wonder what it's going to... Where are you going? The company leave by a maze-like entrance, and once more we face the castle. We now see Anubis has preceded us and stands at the very summit of the steps, and we climb up. We hear him questioning Hermes, who signifies that the candidate is acceptable. Imagine yourself climbing up 2 flights of very wide granite steps and face a studded door of the castle, which is swung open, and there is an inner door, a grating. This matter seems more solemn somehow. We realize it is a solemn thing to be a Hierophant, one who shows forth. The company are entering this dark castle, dark after the brilliant light, and begin to twist around. We pass along a flight of stairs, and a giant figure of the god Michael, the archangel Michael, smiting some evil character, and another 8-foot angel, Raphael, a statue, facing a beautiful carved dragon. We pass a great Chinese dragon screen, and we're all the time moving round to the rattle of the sistrum. We swing down the steps, and as we reach the very temple of Isis, Hermes asks the candidate, is she prepared to receive the oracle of the mother goddess of the earth?
Are you prepared? Are you worthy for this oracle of the mother goddess?
I am prepared. This is well. Now we take another circuit and face a long Egyptian passage with 9 columns. On the right is a closed double door. 2 priests throw back the door, and the candidate enters. It is totally dark, and the doors are closed behind her. First she can see nothing save the light of 2 candles and a third in a low tripod. Then she sees a figure totally robed in black. With psychic vision she may see golden light in the form of a woman. She is on her knees. Above the dark figure is a loophole letting through light of this ancient dungeon, now a chapel of the mothers. Will she be granted the oracle? My beloved daughter, you have suffered much pain through many, many earthly incarnations. And now you approach the going forth by day, your last incarnation without true knowledge. For know that those who live life after life, caught up in the passions, never attain reality. Reality is awakening from this dream of life into everlasting love and beauty and truth. You have faced me through a priestess when you were great queen of Egypt more than once. Once with he who loved the Aten. So you work for the union of all faiths, the disk with many rays entering it, yet all are one. But you also followed the path of the God Amon-Ra of love and enjoyment of this life, wholeness, the pantheon that was Egypt. And that is my Egypt, my place. I am Hathor. I am Isis. I am Venus. I will not allow my children to evaporate into mental daydreams they call illumination. You cannot receive illumination unless you accept the earth. My daughter, do you accept the earth?
Yes, Mother, I do.
Now you do. It is good. And by attaining the earth, and only by attaining the earth, you shall achieve heaven. Go forth with my blessing. You will achieve perfect health. Outside, the two guardians swing open the door, and the candidate is blinded by the light of the many candles in the temple. She is led forth. She is brought towards the well of healing, the ancient pre-Druid well, and given a cup of water. The cup of water of the goddess to balance the fire of the god and goddess of light and heat. For know that fire and water is in all beings, love and truth in harmony. Now a priestess moves around, blessing all, anointing every brow. The candidate, having passed this ordeal, both ordeal and honor, is led down the columns and lights a candle in honor of the goddess Vesta. Here are 5 chapels of the 4 elements and the Holy of the Holies. Here are the shrines of the signs of the zodiac. The procession makes its way to the high altar, and here the priest and priestess read from a scroll of the meaning of what a Hierophant is.
The designation Hierophant means one who shows forth. In Collegium Isidis of the Fellowship of Isis, Hierophants already belong to the FOI priesthood. Their vocation from the goddess is to act as guides and teachers of candidates, already Fellowship of Isis members, who wish to attain Magi degrees in a particular lyceum. A Hierophant has gained at least 4 Magi degrees attained through years of spiritual experience working in a lyceum. The hallmarks of a fine Hierophant are wisdom and humility, love and understanding. The possession of a sense of humor brings the laughter of the gods.
Status means standing still and can lead to stagnation. Hence, any superiority induced through obtaining a honorific title is not relevant to such a creative movement as our fellowship. The greater the horizon that can be seen, the greater is the extent of the unknown. The Hierophant needs self-confidence derived from communion with the chosen goddess, or goddess and god. Knowledge that most of us make at least one mistake daily encourages us to pray for help to the cosmic hierarchy, parents of all beings.
Now the time has come for the deities to be invoked. Isis and Venus are very much of this priestess, who is founder of the Lyceum of Venus of Healing, and yet is also of the Fellowship of Isis. So the priestess Hierophant invokes the goddess Isis.
I invoke great Isis, she of 10,000 names, mistress of all magics, great queen, patroness of Egypt, and mother of the nobility of the Egyptian line. We invoke thee and ask thy presence at this consecration.
The new priest now invokes the divine Osiris.
O great and powerful Osiris, I call you here to witness and to help with this ordination of a Hierophant to the fellowship of Isis.
Priestess now invokes the lovely goddess Venus.
I invoke Venus of love and healing, that she might help our candidate.
Venus is also goddess of love. The priest stands forward now and invokes her.
Violet-crowned Cytherea, stately Aphrodite, Venus of the morning and evening star, we invoke thy aid. Come to us, born of the moist breath of the western wind, that wind that once wafted thee over the loud moaning sea in soft foam, where the gold-filleted hours welcomed thee joyously. Come to us in the heavenly garments wherewith the hours clothe thee. On thy head a fine, well-wrought crown of gold, and in thy pierced ears are ornaments of aurichalk, and a golden necklaces over thy soft neck and snow-white breasts, which the hours wear when they join in the lovely dances of the deities. Thou who givest kindly gifts to men, bestow on us beauty, joy, and love.
I invoke the divine Eros, god of love. Golden Eros, who appears to the holy saints as a seraph with red hair and red wings, called a monster to trembling Psyche, who faced your divine beauty with unexpected ecstasy. God of love, whom we cannot escape, whose arrows pierce our heart, come to us with thy all-embracing love, for without thee we cannot live. Now comes the actual consecration of a Hierophant. The priest asks what the candidate has to offer.
Approach and tell us what you would offer the goddess.
I offer the goddess my heart, my hands, and my service, for my life, for all being, for the earth, and all spirit.
What token do you offer in signal of your service?
I bring an eternity banner from our own Icium and Lyceum,
It is the eternity banner, the boat of millions of years, from which we all come from. It is forever. Love is forever. Life is forever. Spirit is forever. May the banner stand in beauty, purity, and strength for all who seek it. May they follow in the way of the forever.
Now, the priestess Hierophant, who knows well Cara as I do, speaks her encomium.
I have known Cara through her writings, through her love. I have known her upon the inner planes, as well as in physical life. I recognize her worth as priestess and as hierophant, as teacher and as student, as a mother to those that she brings to the fellowship and to the goddesses. I note her worthy of consecration as hierophant.
Now, I have the honour again of consecrating this Hierophant with holy oil. I anoint her on her head, her heart, her hand. In the name of Isis and of Venus, I consecrate you, Hierophant. Now the priest places her crown upon her head, and I say, with this crown I honour thy spirit. Now the priestess Hierophant, Vivian, places the pectoral round her shoulders. With this pectoral I consecrate thy heart. Now she is presented with a sistrum. I give it to her. Accept this sacred sistrum that you may awaken those who sleep. Now the candidate is turned by Hermes to face the company, the priestess and priest Hierophant on right and left. The priestess Hierophant shakes the sistrum. In the name of Isis and of Venus, you, Cara Marguerite Drusilla, priestess Hierophant of the Lyceum of Venus of Healing, a priestess Hierophant through holy ceremony in the temple of Isis, a foundation center. Here the priest Hierophant uplifts his crook.
In the name of Osiris and of Isis, goddess of this Lyceum, I declare our priestess Hierophant of the College of Isis.
Now all accept this consecration.
I accept the consecration of our priestess as Hierophant of the College of Isis.
I accept this consecration of our priestess as Hierophant of the College of Isis.
I accept this consecration of this priestess as a Hierophant in the College of Isis.
Now Hermes requests that the Hierophant gives her oration.
May the new Hierophant give us her ordination.
She now gives forth her oration.
I greet you all in the name of Isis Venus. I come to you, bringing you love. Love that is brave, love that is true, love that is courageous, love that is kind, love that is always appropriate in all things. Love can be strong and say no. Love can be gentle, gentle as the wings of our mother Isis, who wraps us in her arms and sings us to sleep. Love is the most powerful thing in the world. It gives us the gift of laughter for ourselves when we are silly, as we often are. The gods love a merry heart. They love us to walk in their path, to celebrate life abundantly, to live fully, to honor them, to honor our own lives, to honor eternity and the forever and the beyond. In the name of Isis Venus, I love you.
Now comes the mystery. The priestess Hierophant utters the immemorial words of the mystery of Eleusis.
Thou shalt find to the left of the house of Hades a wellspring, and by the side thereof standing a white cypress. To this wellspring approach not near, but thou shalt find another by the lake of memory, cold water flowing forth, and there are guardians before it. Say, I am a child of earth and of starry heaven, but my race is of heaven alone. This you know yourselves. And lo, I am parched with thirst, and I perish. Give me quickly the cold water flowing forth from the lake of memory, and of themselves they shall give thee to drink from the holy wellspring, and behold, you shall receive the armor of memory.
Now Cara is given to drink of the holy well water, and as a new Hierophant, she is asked to make her profession of faith.
Out of the pure I come, pure queen of them below, and Eucles and Euboleus and other gods and demons, for I avow me that I am of your blessed race, and I have paid the penalty for deeds unrighteous, whether it be that fate laid me low or the gods immortal. I have flown out of the sorrowful weary wheel. I have passed with eager feet to the circle desired. I have entered beneath the lap of the queen below, Dysphonia of the underworld. I have passed with eager feet to the circle desired, and now I come, a suppliant, to holy Persephone, that of her grace she receive me to the seat of the hallowed. Happy and blessed one, thou shalt be God instead of mortal.
All would now meditate in the silence. A priestess reads of the coming of Isis for the new age, linking Eleusis with ourselves.
From out of the desert I shall rise again, like a star in the eastern sky. My glory shall be known. I shall sweep away the sands of time, my temples build again. I shall walk the valleys, I shall float the Nile, coast on the warm southern breeze. Men shall come to know me once more, and I the hearts of men. My name shall be carved upon the walls, my wisdom I shall unfurl. Many are those close to me, my children closer still. Come all my lovers unto me, and reap your just rewards. You've honored me since the dawn's pale light. Into my womb you shall return, when time ends in the darkest night.
This beautiful poem is written by a modern priestess, for we have returned after Philae was destroyed, the temple of Isis, 1500 years ago. So with hopes for the future, we enter into meditation. Think, what golden dream have you to bring the heaven on earth, even in a bed sitting room, a high-rise flat, a slum, third world countries suffering from hunger, you can, between seconds, attain cosmic consciousness, create an oasis of beauty around you, affecting humans, animals, trees, the earth itself, and so the golden age shall return of Isis and Osiris, who are amongst us because they are within you and me and cats. Visualize your own heaven. All that is ugly is transmuted into good. You don't have to banish it. You turn it to good. Those who are jealous need more love for themselves, more self-esteem. We need to be confident. We are all born the Mother Goddess. The Father is our Father. You have hidden gifts. Bring them forth. Hope is the watchword. Blue. Hope. And especially in a person you detest, a situation you dislike. Don't run away from it. Transmute it by alchemy, for that is real magic. That is the magic of Venus, of love. The new priestess helps us with this magical realization of the future.
I see a time when all are equal, when all beauty, all strength, all kindness, all humility, purity, wisdom. There is a time when people and non-humans will recognize one another as equal, separate perhaps, but equal. Equal in the sight of spirit, in the sight of deity. For deity made them and pronounced all good and beautiful.
All now meditate on these wonderful words of Kara. Feel this love she has brought to us in your heart. All rise and hold their hands forth to send love and blessing to all beings. Send forth love.
In the name of Venus Isis, may there be love, may there be love, may there be love.
In the name of Osiris and all gods and pantheons, may there be love.
In the name of Isis Sophia, may there be love and light.
In the name of all of our Celtic gods and goddesses, may there be light and hope.
In the name of Dana, may this energy flow out, and may there be love.
The figures now seem to us rather misty as they give thanks to the deities, and we know it is time for us to return to your time and place. I shall come with you, help you to come back. Come back. Good. Come back to your own body in full consciousness. I am Olivia Robertson of the Fellowship of Isis, Clonigall Castle, Enniscorthy, South Ireland. Write to us at any time. May the blessings of Isis and Osiris be with you now and evermore.